Hello and welcome back to the thesideescape Gaming Podcast, episode 81. I'm your host, Jake Burke, and joined, as always, by James St. Charles and Ted Sac State Libby. Ding! Quick side note here, Jake, while I'm editing the show, I realized while editing that we were actually on episode 82 and not 81, despite everything that I will say in this episode about being the 81st episode of the thesideescape Gaming Podcast. Back to the show. Because this is the 81st episode of the thesideescape Gaming Podcast, where every Monday morning a new episode goes live on youtube.com and Spotify. And maybe SoundCloud, I think it also goes up there. Once a week, we Discord over 500 miles to talk about a gaming-related topic and what we've been playing. Today, we're talking about 2022, the future, our most anticipated games of 2022. Everyone's brought about 5, maybe some alternates. We'll just kind of rotate, go through it all, see what we're looking forward to for the next year. But before we do that, before we start, I got some stats for you about our last year's 2021 most anticipated games. Because I thought that was funny. We previously discussed this topic last year, episode 40. It was released on 12/21/20. In that episode, some of our most anticipated games were God of War Ragnarok, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Dying Light 2, it was not titled Stay Human yet, Diablo 4, Hogwarts Legacy, and the sequel to Breath of the Wild. None of those have come out.
I just opened your doc. I legitimately thought those were yours, and I was going to message you privately asking if we should have added ours.
No.
I got worried.
Those were all ones that we were excited for last year.
I think one of those will come out this year. That's how bad I think this is.
Yeah, I think we got shot. I think we got shot at like two to 3.
We got shot at Dying Light 2 coming out.
Yeah, Hogwarts thing is coming out this year, and Ragnarok.
I don't even know about the Hogwarts thing. That's got some legal stuff.
That's true. Drama. Other fun little moments. When Jake mentioned Deathloop, James' response was, "Yeah, you keep getting excited for it." Just like super disappointed in me. That was actually a good game, James. I was right.
Yeah, but it was a game of the year. In you.
It Takes Two was game of the year.
We discussed the Cyberpunk DLC coming out in 2021. Jake asked if they'd fix the game by then. Neither of those have happened. And the last one, I assured...
Not the Xbox Series X patch?
The DLC hasn't even come out.
There's no DLC yet.
There's no DLC. They've only done the patches.
And they haven't released the Xbox Series X or PS5 versions yet.
Whoa.
So
I did not realize that.
Yeah, that's why I was playing The Witcher.
And I assured everyone with confidence that 100% there would be a Battle Royale in Halo. And there isn't.
I remember that.
So I just thought that was kind of fun.
That you can still hope for that, because it could potentially come out.
It could happen. But I don't think it needs to as much as I thought. But I thought there was it was really funny that a lot of these games that we were so excited for coming out last year, we're now going to be talking about being excited for coming out this year.
Yeah, I'm going to edit my list just to not look like an idiot.
Are you going to have Lego Skywalker Saga on there?
Were you excited for that, Ted?
Don't worry about it.
I think you were, yeah.
I'm erasing heavily.
I mean, it should be good.
I don't know if it even exists.
If it comes out.
So I was going to start, if that's okay. Because I want to talk about a game that I actually don't think is coming out next year, but we're going to hear about it coming out next year a lot.
Fine. We should definitely put a disclaimer, because we just talked about this. A lot of these games are just listed as 2022 with a shrug emoji after them. There's very few games with actual, we're confident it's coming out today.
Dying Light 2, unless it gets pushed.
It had a date 2 years ago. Remember, it had a release date in 2019.
Yeah, you know what? Dates don't even matter, Ted, anymore. So even if it has a date, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, they're all just 2022. But the year doesn't matter.
This is a game that I think we are going to be told it's 2022 all the way until November, and finally nope, we're going to be in 2023. Is Breath of the Wild 2, the sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild sequel. There's no title.
I know. Yeah, they don't even have a title yet. So that's how much confidence I think we have in this game coming out. But that's just one of those games I'm super excited for it. I'm sure now you are as well, James, because of what you've been playing. I'm very
excited for it. Yeah.
But I don't think it's coming out this year. So I just kind of had a little asterisk on that one of it's there. We've all talked about it now.
So I think, it's going to, we'll see this on the next, hey, 2023, this is what James said. But I think it could come out November, December. If COVID does not go the same direction it's going right now, let's say Omicron just takes off and we get some DEF CON or whatever comes out next.
Wait, they're remaking DEF CON?
Yeah,
it's the new COVID variant.
Metatron. Metatron,
Metatron, yeah.
Whatever Optimus Prime comes out. Okay, anyways, whatever comes out, if they keep the course, I think if they figure to the environment, because I think Japanese game companies have been the worst at adapting to like the COVID environment.
Yeah,
like at least previously,
Nintendo
but
had, like, public
they've had some extra time. It was supposed to come out last year or this year, I guess.
This year,
I really like the idea.
I think it could come out next year, fall to winter time frame.
I think it's possible,
unless they push. It is that has a strong possibility.
What is it?
The sequel to Breath of the Wild, dude. They're making another one.
Ted, have you played Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, I have.
I'm gonna say this definitively. I looked at like a 20. I was like, I got a Switch, recently. Yeah. So I've like been looking at like, what are the games to play for Switch, and it's like 2021, the games you must play on Switch. And I looked through it all. Breath of the Wild is number one on every single list, and that game is old.
Yeah,
and I looked at and even like options. Top 3. Yeah, exactly. But it's like Breath of the Wild and a bunch of Mario, and there's not a lot out there.
Yeah,
it is definitively the best game for the Switch, and an incredible like role playing game. Like it ruined other role playing games for me that I'll talk about later.
I'm excited. Yeah, we'll talk about that in the end of the show. But I just wanted to get that one out of the way before we really get this thing rolling.
Yeah, so, that's on my list as well.
Yeah. Okay.
I really
it wasn't on my list last year though.
No, it wasn't. It was on mine.
Yeah.
Ted,
I really like the idea of making COVID variants just based off of Transformers.
I do too.
They should.
Yeah,
it's the Starscream variant.
Is my favorite Transformer.
Yeah.
Side swipe. That's the one that gets you. You don't even see it coming.
Yeah.
Just side swipes you. Ted, I want you to start. I want you to give us one game that you're very excited for 2022.
This is my list.
Whoa. Paper.
I know. I wrote down a lot and then had to narrow it down. So I'm going to just start with we'll start big and then move down kind of from there. Starfield.
Yeah,
nice.
Let's all start. It's on all of our lists.
GameWorks/Microsoft Starfield.
Yep.
Quick thing, is that only PC, Xbox now?
Yep.
Good. That's all.
Only PC, Xbox.
We don't know what this game is.
But it looks cool.
Yeah, there's not really any gameplay. It's a Bethesda game. It'll probably not come out. I was reading through older headlines, and it says, Bethesda says Starfield aims to be a Han Solo simulator, Indiana Jones in space.
That sounds fun.
With a screenshot, and that was it. Who knows what this game's going to be, but I'm looking forward to it. I like Bethesda games, and I like sci-fi, and more importantly, this is a new Bethesda game. It's not a Fallout or an Elder Scrolls. Let's see what they can do.
Me too.
That's like my big thing is I want to see what they can do with this promise of you're in space. Like you've played Skyrim on the ground in this, you've played in the Wasteland. We're going to put you in space. I think that's just so cool, and they can do so much with it. And they're on a whole new engine, so they're not on this like broken-ish engine which was Fallout 4 and
what was 76? The old engine called? I can't even remember. It's so old. It's like
I don't even
Gear
know.
Is it Gabe something? I can't remember, but it is such a bad engine.
Yeah, so they're on a whole new engine. I'm really excited for what this game can be, and this game has a release date, and they're pretty confident at it because it's the Skyrim release date 11 years later. So
I think them being owned by Xbox and having that like umbrella and sort of this is when it's going to come out, it has really helped out. If it does get pushed, probably not too much.
Yeah, it worked for Halo.
Like a little bit. It barely got, it got comfortably pushed and it came out great. Yeah. So I think it could get pushed, but it'll definitely come out this year. So.
Yeah, I think they've been working on the game for a very long time, so I'm excited for it.
It was announced a long time.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see if they make it work. Space is tough to get to make it work.
Did you play the Outer Worlds, Ted?
I've started it and have every intention of finishing it.
Okay.
I beat it.
You beat it. You liked it more than I did.
I liked it to a certain point, and then I just bum rushed the ending and didn't realize it was the ending, and I was like, oh crap, well, that was nothing.
Yeah.
But it was fun, and it was, like a Fallout type game, and
I hope it's more than that.
Yeah.
I definitely hope it's more than that, because it wasn't as good. If it's something, they have a new engine, if they can do like some really great stuff here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy.
Is this just going to be a Skyrim town with Skyrim quests, but the difference is instead of fast traveling, you get in and out of your spaceship? We don't know.
You're going to have a quirky MC.
Yeah, like
drop some one-liners.
Right. Do you think you're going to fly the spaceship in free space?
No.
Oh.
Or do you think you'll ever actually, like, with your fingers, fly the spaceship, or do you think it's just going to be a glorified fast travel / house?
I think it's like a fast travel house thing.
Yeah.
That's what I would assume. But that's every game's done before that, and they do crazy things.
Yeah.
So
that's how it was for Outer Worlds too.
It's true. Any final thoughts on Starfield?
No.
James, give me one.
I got one. So I try to put all platforms on here.
Mm-hmm.
So I put Forespoken,
which
was Project Aria.
Yeah.
And we saw that trailer like a long time ago. It was like, this is great.
Square Enix.
And then they actually made a game.
Okay. Is this the Square Enix? This is not the Microsoft exclusive?
No, it's PS5.
No, it's a Sony exclusive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one where it's like a normal girl gets pulled into like a fantasy looking world. But
you can fly, you have all these powers, and it's really smooth and clean. It looks amazing. I think this could be a real sleeper for this year. So it's coming out.
I think it has a date too, right? It's like, or like has a time frame, like March or May or something. Yeah,
I have to take a look.
Yeah,
I think it did.
I'm intrigued by that.
That could be a really good game.
It's a game I'm not going to buy right away, but if someone's like, "This is insane," then I'll pick it up. It's one of those games like, "Oh, okay, cool," then I'm in.
Yeah, it could be fun.
Yeah.
So I put that on my list.
That's exciting. I like that one. I'm very curious about it. This is one that I'm sure is also on James's list. God of War Ragnarok.
Yes.
Ted, I don't know. You haven't played the God of War game, have you?
Well, Ted, you could play it next month when it comes out on PC.
I got it on PS4.
Oh, good.
You should play it.
I haven't played it. Yeah. My local game store, I went in there to sell some stuff, and they had a bunch. I don't know how this happened, but they had like a tub full of PS4 games, and they were like, just take them. They were like 10, 15-ish bucks a pop. And I was like, all right.
Wow. Got God of War for $10.
Yeah, exactly. I got God of War
crazy.
for PS4 for $10. Really... It was super chill about it, and I was like, did you guys just get a lot of these? And they were like, yeah, honestly, we did. I think a ton of people who got PS5s just turned in their collections. They were just done.
That's what I was thinking. But is there a God of War for PS5? Like a PS5?
There's a patch. Yeah, there's a PS5 patch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I beat it like a month before that came out. I rebeat it, and then I beat it, and then they were like, oh, and now there's a PS5 patch.
And I could be completely wrong. If you put in your God of War PS4 disc, will it work? I don't think it will. I think that was there was a limited time where that would work, and that time is passed.
I'm sure it doesn't.
Probably up. Yeah.
Anyways, God of War Ragnarok. Very excited for God of War Ragnarok. Excited to see what the new creative team does with these characters, and it sounds like this kind of is going to end the Norris chapter, which I think is really cool. So
I'm excited for God of War 3.
Yeah, like what it's going to be after that.
Because this is the end of Norse gods.
Yeah, it's going to be Egypt probably.
So this isn't
timeline-wise. Norse gods came after Egypt gods.
But they showed Egypt stuff.
Oh, did they? Oh, is that
in the first game?
Okay.
They showed. That's what I was assuming. If you play, but this is not Corey.
No, it's the other creative team. Corey Barlog's working on a different game.
Yeah, he's on a different project. So this is, but he handed it off to like a veteran. Like I remember like watching the interview. Like this guy like has worked on like every single one. So.
And it sounds like they wrote a lot of the story of the second game while working on the first game. So it's like Corey Barlog was involved in the story and all of that as well. So it's not like it was just an entirely made up thing.
Correct.
Afterwards.
Yeah. But I'm wondering if he's coming back for the third game. Because they had to pull him off to work on this other game.
Yeah, a new game though. It's a new IP. I don't think he's working on the third one right now.
No. Yeah, I don't know when they're gonna work on the third one. It doesn't even sound like.
Maybe not urgently. Yeah, but it's gonna be great. I mean, it's God of War, and it's just gonna be more of it, and that's awesome. Like, there's no way that's like a bad thing.
There's no way it's bad. They showed a good trailer with gameplay, and it's more of what already existed, and probably like gonna build more upon.
Yeah,
that can only mean good things.
Well, and if there's one thing the PS5 has, it's that cinematic edge, which will look really good in a God of War game,
especially with the story and the characters. Like you're so attached to.
Yeah.
Like
it's gonna be
in a whole other way you've never like I'd never really like cared for Kratos like too much. He's like he's a badass.
Yeah.
There's more humanization with this main character and the boy.
Yeah. So that's my big pick right there. That's probably my top game by far. So
yeah, it's my number one on mine. Yeah. I have Breath of the Wild as number 2 just because like that does come out. It's gonna be great, but I don't know if it's gonna.
Breath of the Wild is my white whale. I know it's not coming.
Yeah.
All right, Ted.
Yeah. A PS5 is my white whale.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively. I put down another Microsoft exclusive.
Did you just call it a Microsoft exclusive?
Exclusive.
Did you say exclusive?
Yeah.
World exclusive.
World exclusive.
World
Should be our new podcast name. Anyway, I put down Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl.
Whoa, the new Stalker.
Because that's coming out. It's coming out soon, and it might actually come out. They might delay it enough to where it'll still come out in 2022.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking for it.
That might be exciting. I never played a Stalker though, so
yeah, it hasn't aged well. First of all,
yeah.
But Stalker is like, it's like an open world game. It's like what we were talking about with Dying Light, where it's open world and like there isn't a straight path from beginning to end. It's kind of like you kind of just pick your side as you go, and then that's how the ending gets figured out. The original Stalker games, it's always like these are like 15-year-old games now, but there's always like 3 versions of the same quest, and what faction you do will determine the ending of the game. That plus how far we've come with just survival horror and graphics in general might mean that this could be a really fun, almost like an open world RPG, but with some spooks. So nice. I think it'll be really cool. I think the trailer looked really beautiful, and
yeah, the trailer looked
everything.
Great.
Yeah, everything that Stalker did back then has been improved upon so much now that it might be a lot of fun.
I'm excited.
Interesting. Yeah, if you tell me it's good, I'll try it.
Yeah. Oh, are you kidding? I'm going to be one of those people who's like, you should really change the voice acting to Russian to really get the right feel.
You're gonna
I'll have you know I played Breath of the Wild all Japanese voice.
Did you?
Yeah, exactly. It's like a Yakuza situation.
That's good. The Zelda voice actress has a very interesting voice.
There's American Yakuza voice?
Only in the newer ones.
In the newer ones. I was like...
Yeah, and...
that's not an option on, like, Kawaii.
No.
It is in Like a Dragon, there's English.
Like a Dragon, okay.
And I want to say 6, but I could be wrong. And Yakuza people...
That's crazy.
Get mad at me.
There's so much, like, voices, and I can't believe that's fully voice acted in English and Japanese.
Oh, yeah. Damn. I think going forward, they will be doing both, because the Yakuza series got really popular in the past 5 years.
There's a new series now.
Judgment?
That's like Judgment, yeah.
You played Judgment yet, James?
Is that
it's out?
Playable?
Yeah, it came out this year.
Yeah. The first one was definitely in Japanese. I don't think the second one is.
But Judgment is still turn-based like the other one, right?
No, Judgment is their action brawler going forward. Yeah, and Yakuza has become turn-based.
Wait, that's out on PlayStation though, right?
Yeah, I think it's also on PC, right? It might be on Xbox too.
No, it's not on Xbox.
Fuck. Could be. Anyways, James, what was your game you said? Did you say one yet?
It's not on
He's
PC.
Too busy looking at Judgment.
All of our games have been said except for my last one.
Oh, I'm wrong. It is on Xbox. Fuck me.
It is on Xbox Game Pass?
No. It costs money, James.
That means it's not on it.
Every Xbox game's on PC.
It's not on my Xbox. Okay. My game, Dying Light 2, I've been talking about this forever. You're probably going to hear me say this. Hey, Dying Light 2. It's on my list. I'm looking forward to it, but I am so scared that it is going to be absolute garbage. And that it won't be fun like the first one.
I'm expecting it to get cyberpunked.
Yeah. I don't think it'll get cyberpunked. I think that the way they're going with like being on the rooftops and stuff like that is going to take away from how the old environment felt, where it was like jumping in this sort of like shantytown-esque and actually being afraid to go out at night. But now you're in like some skyscraper type area. Maybe it won't be as fun. I don't know. I'm just not as excited as I was initially when I was like, first it was like, oh, this game's not coming out. And it's like, oh shit, this game's coming out, and they got all this stuff coming for it. And then now it's like, oh, actually it's got delayed by a lot. Several times.
It's supposed to come out pretty soon now, though.
February.
Yeah, I think it's gonna hit it, and I'm curious to see what you think.
I think it's gonna come out. If it doesn't come out in February,
it's done.
There's no shot.
No. Yeah, I'm very curious to hear what you think about it, because I know you've been very excited for it.
Yeah, I had such a blast with Gunner playing 1, and like, I'm looking for more to the co-op than the campaign.
Is it coming out at launch? Because Halo's didn't.
I'll have to check that. I'm surprised that co-op doesn't come out at launch anymore. Like, I understand with Infinite, it's a much greater scale. It's a multiplayer and a campaign, so that's fine. But still, come on.
Yeah, games don't have to come out as complete products anymore.
No, you have to buy.
There's one thing we've learned
missions.
from 2021.
They built that Halo campaign in a year. That's why it doesn't have co-op.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna just kind of go off for another one. Elden Ring. I'm very curious and excited about Elden Ring.
I'm glad you put this on your list.
Thank you.
Because I didn't. I did not.
Do you want to talk about it still?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, this is the next From Software.
Next From Soft game. It is their like open world-ish, like they even say kind of Breath of the Wild-esque game that's much more open. It is not like you're in these tight hallways and stuff. You're walking around these big open areas and slowly building your character by like taking inventory off other people and like going through this open world. So that's what they've showed with big ass bosses like normal. So I'm very curious to see what this game ends up being, and I'm kind of excited just to test out a new FromSoft game. I'm very bad at them, so I never get very far.
What do you think about the George R. Martin input into this game? What do you think it is?
There's gonna be a lore in it. Like it's just gonna have really deep like King's lore.
I am not
like Knights.
A George R. Martin guy, nor am I a From Software lore person.
Yeah,
but this is not your game. Everything about his involvement has sounded like a garbage fire.
That's what I
don't know. I don't know if you guys have seen this stuff where people are like, well, like George R. R. Martin wrote the story, so like it's gonna be. And then he's even come out and been like, I mean, like, I wrote stuff. I don't know.
He's like, I don't. He's like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, he's come out and said like, I don't know if they used what I wrote.
Yeah, like he's not like. I think they just really liked having his name on this game.
They put his name there, and you were like, "Holy shit, George R. R. Martin."
He's a quirky guy, but even he is like, my involvement here. I don't want to like.
Yeah.
I don't want to hearken to the winds about it. It's
just gonna be the background lore stuff, and it's not gonna be anything major.
It says he didn't write the actual story for whatever reason.
No, he wrote like literal like backdrop lore stuff.
He helped write the world. Like he helped build the world.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to write the full story from what I heard. He helped build it.
Yeah. I like From Software games, but I'm still out there to beat Dark Souls 1.
You're gonna
play it. Like I've never really gotten on the train, I guess. Yeah. So I'm curious to see if this is a good jumping on point as someone who's like, I should play Dark Souls and Bloodborne.
Bloodborne
and I don't really care. Yeah. Like Sekiro Shadows Die Twice came out, and I was so like, not for me. I'm gonna stick with the other ones. And I don't know, because Sekiro was very much like a, hey, if you thought Dark Souls was easy, we got you. And you're like, I did not think that. That was not me. And I'm wondering if this is going to be like a From game for beginners, or they make it a little more friendly. Like, who knows?
I watched some of the like beta play that they had, and I think this is more friendly to beginners. I think it's more Bloodborne oriented.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying like Bloodborne is for beginners, but it's not as hardcore as Dark Souls. Even Sekiro is probably the hardest. But I think this is going to be big, of course.
Mm-hmm. The internet loves this game.
I don't know how. I mean, I haven't played. I'm not a big Dark Souls person either, but I know a lot of friends are, and they're looking forward to this.
Yeah, I find them very interesting games to play because there's really nothing else quite like them.
No,
except for games that try to be them. Like they are a
Team
genre.
Ninja also makes like the same thing, I guess, with Neo. But
that's very much like a homage to this gameplay developed by these guys, like this team
from start. It.
And so I like to watch like where they go. And like they're now like, if they're saying they're gonna make like an open world, like that's like what does that mean? That you guys are gonna make this like actual open world?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Does it mean you're just a bigger world like Bloodborne's hubs, or what does it mean? So I'm kind of curious.
And I fly around with a nice little sail kite.
There's a horse. You ride a horse in this game.
Oh yeah, there is a horse.
Yeah, so it's like a bigger game.
So you can fly around.
I have a sneaking suspicion the open world might be like not an afterthought per se, but like it's gonna be very Souls gamey, but like there's just more travel time between locations.
Is there a lot of looting in Souls games? Like, could I like go and like find like a lot of loot?
There is looting, but it's not like you get it all the time.
Okay.
Like finding a piece of armor is like, oh sweet.
I have not played enough to really know, but like yes, there is loot, but it's not like it's not like a loot game.
Yeah.
No, yeah. But Elden Ring is not like that either. It's more of a.
I would imagine.
We don't know.
We don't know.
I guess. Yeah.
We'll find out. It's pretty soon too. It's like March or February. Like it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
We got a lot of early 2022 games.
We do. Ted, do you have another game on your list?
For the audio listeners, I'm sighing. I wrote down completely honestly Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga.
Did you remember talking about it last year?
Vaguely, and my reasons on it have still changed. Of like, I grew up with Lego games. Lego games have changed a lot. I'm really curious to see what they do. As somebody with roommates, we like playing like couchy co-op games. If it's still a couch co-op game, I'm super excited for it. Anyway, I'm gonna pick a different game instead here.
I'm looking forward to that game though too.
I'm actually looking forward to
it
too.
too.
You sold me on it last year, and
sold you on it last year.
And you know what? I'm still in
next year.
I'm still waiting for my game.
I'll put down. I have a runner-up here that I wrote with a question mark. That's how you know it's a runner-up.
Okay.
Gotham Knights.
Yes.
Oh, I saw this on list. I saw this on list.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just really interesting. Or I'm really curious.
You are really interesting, Ted.
You are really interesting.
I'm really curious. This is an interesting idea. This is basically the Batman Arkham games.
Yep.
I guess they're just Arkham the series. But it's 4-player co-op. It's more of a 4-player co-op looter slasher.
There is more looter. That's true. Yeah.
Looter co-op.
Yeah.
Fun
but
experience.
it's those people. It's that style.
Mm-hmm.
That's
really
a formula
curious.
for success.
Yeah. Well,
no game's ever failed at doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
James, you know how popular that Avengers game is? It's crazy. It's all anybody talks about.
I don't even want to put any Marvel games on my list just because of that game. Like, because he knows like Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy is great. The Avengers Marvel game. That Avengers game.
So Ted, with Gotham Knights, I'm looking forward to this. I'm curious with the arc because it's made by the people that made Arkham Origins, along that kind of in the middle game.
Yeah.
And I'm curious.
Has gained a cult following.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Since its initial bad reviews.
Yeah, I remember enjoying it. And I'm really excited to see if this what they're doing this pushes this series too far and breaks it and makes it not fun, or if they make it intriguing enough. Like, all right, cool. I'm
interested. I really liked Arkham Asylum, the first one.
Yeah.
And never gravitated towards any of them after that. And Arkham Knights, the third one, had a whole controversy where it would not be put on PC, and that was upsetting at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious. I mostly want to know what co-op is going to look like, because that combat is super fun. It might be really fun with people.
Yeah.
But this is one of those examples of like armchair developer, like, oh, wouldn't this be more fun if my friends were playing too? And this is that.
Yeah, I wonder how much co-op is in it and how it works. If it's just full co-op the entire time, or what they do with it. I'm curious.
Yeah, I think this game could be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It could be like a bad game, but also there could be a part where you fight Bane in a ring and you have to tag each other in and out. So it could be a perfect game, is what I'm trying to say.
It's very true.
Just rest. He just elbows you. Bane's great. I just want to play a Bane game.
There's been a lot of perfect games coming out, Ted.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that you would just play a Bane game, and I like to be called Bane game.
It's just a wrestling. I
think a Bane game would do fantastic.
It's just suplexing.
Yep.
It's like Rampage. Ted, really quick, this is not about next year, but did you see the people that made that? Do you remember Shadow of Mordor? Remember that game? Do you know they're making a Wonder Woman game?
Yes.
No. I did not know it was them who was making it.
They're making the Wonder Woman game. I'm intrigued by that.
It's going to be a grind.
It's going to be a grind, but there's going to be Nemesis, hopefully.
I was going to say, does that, because the Nemesis system is trademarked.
They own that,
yeah. They've never used it again.
Yeah, so that would be cool.
I always thought they were going to do it with Batman. They never did.
A Wonder Woman game could be really cool.
I agree.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Speaking of just superheroes, another one of my games I'm pretty excited for is the Midnight Suns game. The Firaxis people that made XCOM are making that Marvel XCOM game.
I saw that.
Right.
I saw it's. I was reading
it. Got delayed.
It was listed as just Midnight Suns, and it completely went over my head. I was like, I think that game's cool.
I saw that too. I was like,
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm intrigued by this. I really like strategy games. I'm also looking forward to Triangle Strategy coming out pretty quickly in the year. Pre-orders are live, folks. I saw that on my Switch.
Pre-ordered.
I'm pretty excited for that game, but I'm really excited just like for a Marvel Firaxis game. That sounds awesome. I really do like the XCOM series when I play it, so I'm very intrigued by this game. Do you guys have any excitement towards this, or no? Not your thing?
Potentially.
Okay.
Yeah, I recently.
Yeah,
I recently played a XCOM clone, and I think I'm more inclined to it. After playing the Gears one, it was just that one just totally like threw me off, so I didn't want to go back to it. But there's potential.
I like the Gears one. I thought it was too easy. was pretty bland.
I thought it was a very bland game.
It was very bland, but it was a totally fine tactics game. No, I'm really excited for this, but one of the big draws for me in XCOM is this idea that like you can get people and level them up and befriend you, and then they die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's that, like there's
that's
a real fear.
Fire Emblem is, yeah.
That was the worst part. I guess.
And so like I wonder, and we're kind of basing this off old knowledge now, but Disney is very protective.
There's no way Doctor Strange dies.
But like, is this going to be a thing where like, hey, these main characters that you pick to go into battle, you're fine. If one of them dies, you just lose the mission and restart.
No, I don't think that's going to be. I don't think there's going to be permanent.
I'm down. Yeah. Help me.
Yeah. So I'm wondering what is unique to the tactics genre that they'll bring to the table.
Yeah, and I'm curious.
Abilities.
And I'm excited about it. Yeah. Also, do they have is there a roster?
Yeah, it's all like the Marvel characters, like like the Marvel Magic characters, like Ghost Rider, all them kind of those people.
Okay.
So Blade,
Ghost Rider. Oh shit! Really?
Yeah. The roster's awesome. That's like the reason I'm excited for.
That's pretty good.
It looks really sweet. Any other ones you guys are excited for? Before I have like two more.
My list is done.
I have two more too because you told us to get 5.
Yeah. All right. What else you got?
We've all said our 5.
I haven't said. I got my 2. I'm gonna pick one that I've only ever seen videos of, so I have no idea what this is, but I'm really curious about it. It's a game called Stray.
Oh yeah, the cat one.
You play a cat.
Yeah.
It's like a platforming action game, but you play a cat
in like a robo world.
There's another cat game being worked on by the ex-Valve dev Matt Wood.
That could be anybody.
It's not called that. I was like, huh.
Yeah, Stray.
No, but he's working on a
Sony. Yeah, it's a Sony. I think it's a Sony and PC joint. But yeah, it's really intriguing. It's like a platformer where you're platforming, you're Assassin's Creeding your way up buildings, but you're a cat. I think it's great. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited for that. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. Little art house indie.
Making Little Cat Big City. Matt Wood, former Valve dev.
It's a good name.
Yeah, that's another cat game where he plays a cat.
Other game I'm excited for is the Sifu game. You know what I'm talking about? Sifu.
No idea.
It's like a martial arts game where you like are in like these kind of like brawling environments. You're doing martial arts, and if you die, you age up. Yeah, it's a beat 'em up, but it's like all martial arts.
Is it co-op?
I don't think so. I don't think it's co-op, but it looks awesome. This game looks so cool.
Really? Okay.
Sifu, yeah, but when you die, you age up, and you're like until you eventually die of old age.
Oh, I did see this. I read it as Sifu.
I think it's Sifu.
Okay.
Or not Sifu. Sifu makes sense because that's the actual martial arts term.
Well, then it's probably Sifu.
Sifu, yeah, it's Sifu.
Okay, Sifu.
Sifu's like your master, your teacher.
No, I'm an asshole.
That's senpai.
No, your Sifu is your sensei, like your teacher.
Yeah, sensei is a sensei.
But Sifu is.
I don't know what Sifu is.
Sifu is Chinese.
I eat Sifu.
Oh yeah. Anyways, that game looks cool. All right, Ted, give me another one.
Kung Fu term. Use the martial arts.
Okay, one that I'm just a real me game. Kerbal Space Program 2 is coming out. I put this on my list because I really like the idea of Kerbal Space Program. I think it's a really cool game.
Yeah.
I've tried to play the first one a couple of times, and like if you go on the internet and look up like how to play Kerbal Space Program, the two things you're going to get are like, okay, download 7 mods, and then download this textbook on actual astrophysics to get started. And it's never really been approachable in any kind of real way. And there are like actual sciencey people are like, this is really cool stuff, but you need to download these extra add-ons to kind of make it all work together, which has always just been a little too much for me. So the idea of hopefully them making a much more approachable, like let's get into science type thing could be a lot of fun. I think it'd be a really cool game. Kerbal Space Program was bought. I think they were bought by Take-Two, some behemoth, some big boy.
God.
I think it was Take-Two. And so hopefully they have not necessarily the funding, but like the drive for mass market to make kind of like a science for everyone type game, because I think that would be a lot of fun and a really cool. Hopefully it's still an educational tool as well. It's not just like totally stupid, just make rocket ships.
Just make rocket ships. The game.
Make rocket ships and fly.
Awesome. Well, is our list for our most anticipated games of 2022. Hopefully, they all come out this year. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. If not, it's the same for next year as well.
Yeah, we'll replay this episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we go, James, you wanted to talk about something.
Yeah, I got 2 things to talk about. So we had an episode where we talked about games we wanted to play before the end of the year, and I did play it, which is Witchwood was the one I was looking forward to. I bought it on Switch. It was only $20. I think it's a comfortable platform there. It probably would have been a little bit easier on PC, but it plays really well on Switch, and I was happy with it. Played about 4 hours into it before I stopped and realized the game was not fun.
Oh no!
And it has this good RPG element. And it's like I took no
idea what this is.
I took a break. It's a RPG story like true RPG style story game where you basically like wake up in your cabin, you're a witch, and you have no memory, and someone comes up to me like, hey, I'm here for our deal, and you have no idea what the deal is, and it's like, actually the deal is you're supposed to bring me 12 of these people's souls, and then I'll revive this person that you have no memory of. And you're like, I don't have any memory of them, but I'll do what you say, I guess. And it's just some like, go. So you have to go out and get these people and like collect their souls or something for this goat. Okay. I guess it's like some representative of some demon, I guess. But anyways, you go out. So you go out of your forest and you go to like the fields. And you collect things. A lot of things. So you use this tool to collect this tool. You bring this thing to this person who's going to give you this item so that you can go and meet the camp person that you need to go like get their soul. So you go and meet them, and they say, actually, no, I need this item, which you have to go all the way across 20 minutes away to go to this person who's going to give you this. Actually, but to get that pie, you need to get the honey. To get the honey, you have to go. So it's like a lot of this, is it just too much going on? It's like I needed to go everywhere to get items, to bring to certain people, to unlock certain stuff, and there's no combat. The combat is like whack dead. So it's fetch quest simulator.
Yikes.
And it was at first I was like, man, when's the combat coming? When do I get some weapons? When do I get to level up? You open up your tab menu, it's just a bunch of recipes. It's a bunch of recipes and items you need to make those items.
Yeah, that
so it's like make this smoke screen to use on this enemy so that they can give you this item. I was not having it. After Breath of the Wild, it was like, this game is so ass. I mean, if I played it before, maybe it could have been
significant step down.
Maybe I would have played some more of it, but yeah, Witchwood, not my cup of tea. I can see why people like it, but I'm not a fetch quest kind of person. So it was like fetch quest simulator.
That sucks.
Like in traditional MMOs where you go like, oh, this person needs 3 of this wood. Go and chop down trees for 20 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, is it a good ambiance? I'm looking
at
it now.
It looks good. It looks good, and it has good music. Like that's why I was like playing.
Yeah, is it a good world to just sit and walk in? It's got kind of a cool.
If you wanted to go in,
art look at.
Yeah, if you wanted to go and collect stuff and make stuff, it could be fun. But I just was not having it. It was not a fun experience because you had to like go and collect all these items and harvest them, and looting could be fun, but not when it's tedious.
Yeah,
and you get nothing out of it either. Yeah. So it was just like, all right, this is ridiculous. I'm out of here. And then I was like, all right, well, let's see what's on the Nintendo store. And I saw a game on sale. It was a Mario game.
Ooh.
And it's on sale for $15. And I was like, holy shit, a Mario game on sale for $15.
Mario plus Rabbids?
Mario plus Rabbids with all the DLC on the sale. And you know what? I'm about like 5 hours into it on the World 2. It's incredible. I actually really like this game.
Really?
It's simple XCOM clone, but it has like layers that you can build on. Like you can break this game in a way that makes it so fun, and the combo potential and the way you want to like do skill trees or get certain weapons. I'm having a blast, and it's funny. It's rabbits are basically like
the minions.
Despicable with the minions. They're basically the minions for the minions.
That's awesome. I've only heard good things about this game.
Yeah, and I was like, let me check the reviews of this. I was like, oh shit, it says like 8 out of 10s and like okay. I was like, in the new game's coming out. I was like,
making a sequel, $15
and you get all the DLC.
Are you excited for the sequel?
Well, I was like, if they're making a sequel, maybe this is good. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to if it's like this. It plays like a regular Mario game. Like you collect coins. There's little like puzzle quests. There's like the world looks Mario-esque. I'm in like the sand desert now. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I want to check that out.
They shit on Luigi.
Hey, that's a Mario game.
They shit. They don't even know his. They don't even say his name. Like, who are you? Luftwaffe? Luger?
Luger. Is my boy Waluigi in it?
I haven't come across Waluigi yet. There's a bunch of characters you can get.
Okay.
I've only been sticking with Mario and the two midgets. One is dressed as Luigi and the one dressed as Peach.
Gotcha. Do you have other people already?
It's only a party of 3 so far for me.
Oh, interesting.
You can do co-op though. I don't know if it is online co-op, but there's co-op.
Oh, that's cool.
On the Switch, I doubt it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to playing this game and the sequel, except I hate the Rabbids. I don't know why.
They're not too great, like too much here. It's just like very little. I remember playing a Rayman game like way back, and it was way too much like for the Rabbids. This is more like
Rabbids ruined Rayman. Changed my mind.
Yeah, I think I remember playing one where it was just the Rabbids ruined. I can't remember which one it was, but there was a Rayman where it was just this is too much.
This is all downhill.
This one is it's more Mario tuned.
There was a Wii game.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's bad.
Rayman.
It's fun.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. That's cool.
Yeah, I got past the first boss battle. It was pretty good and intuitive, and it just takes that like XCOM and turns it on its head with a little bit of like combo potential, and it can be more freeform.
That's
cool.
what
I think Midnight Sun is going to be. I think their kicker, their catch is going to be like you can combo.
Yeah, that's what XCOM I think misses out a lot. It's like it's pretty strict in like how things are ordered, and Mario & Rabbids is pretty loose.
Yeah,
like I can extend my turn like crazy because there's like this thing where you can move and you can move on top of like your own partner, and they can throw you somewhere else. Yeah, which gives you more movement speed, so you can like move like crazy and get good positioning. It's fun.
My memory of Gears Tactics is not great, but I remember doing that. You could abuse some of the systems in that game to just really feel overpowered.
The grenade stuff was so abusive in that game, and I couldn't.
But hearing that it's comboing in a fun way, I think is the important thing. Yeah,
it's fun because you can pre-plan out your battles too. Like there's like this, you get into the battlefield, and it's like, okay, this is where enemies start. Like just like a regular XCOM. But it's like, okay, it's like, oh, I know I have this much movement, so I can get here to here to here to here.
Are you fighting like Goombas, or what are you fighting?
No, you're fighting other Rabbids. Okay. Basically, it's like the Rabbids got teleported to the
Mushroom Kingdom.
Mario World, Mushroom Kingdom, and like everything's
it's
crazy.
A metaverse. I don't know if you heard of this term.
Oh.
We're bringing in different characters from different properties that people own, and we're just trademarking. We're trademarking imagination, is what we're doing.
Basically, yeah. So there's one with like these goggles that can like turn, like basically turns everything like kind of like Rabbid, and so you're trying to like round that guy up. But in his wake, there's like people you have to fight because he turned them into these enemies, and they're fun. And some of them have like different abilities. Like there's ones that are like it's like creative enemies. There's this one giant guy. He's like 3 times the health as like a normal one, and if you shoot him, he'll come over to you and hit you. And deal like a fuck ton of damage. So you have to like tactically like position yourself to shoot so you can move out of his movement range and then shoot so he moves back. It's
interesting. There's a lot of pushback.
Little puzzles and
that's fun.
Positioning. It's pretty good. And I was like $15. This is an absolute steal right now.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, but no. Then I looked at the prices. It's normally around this price, but with all the DLC,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think I picked it up a while ago on disc. It's probably at my parents' house. For the same price. It was like super cheap on Amazon, and I was like, all right, I guess.
Yeah, I checked GameStop, and I was like, oh, it's the same price, but it has all the DLC. So I was like, play the Donkey Kong Country Freeze DLC. So
there you go.
Yeah, I'm having a blast.
Can't wait for Donkey Kong Country Freeze to be $15.
I know, me too.
That
if
game,
it ever happens.
I want to play that game.
I was looking at used prices on GameStop. It's like 40.
Yeah,
it's 40 across the board still. Yeah.
Yep.
It's hard to get these games either.
Nintendo's not put their shit on sale very often.
Yep. No, I'm trying to get Smash Brothers, and it's like
it's never $50 on sale.
Like least.
Yeah, just pay $60 for that one. That's a premium product.
Yeah. Now you get your money's worth. All right.
Speaking of premium products, sorry, that was my segue.
That was great. That was great.
Into my own segment.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
What do you got?
I'm playing last year's Game of the Year for everybody except for us. I think we didn't give it Game of the Year.
We actually didn't. No, we gave last year's part 2.
So I can't take full credit for this. My roommates started playing Hades,
Yes.
Which it's funny. It's like one roommate has played 500 hours of Hades before it came out.
Yeah, of course that.
And then and then the other one hasn't touched it. So he came into it like with basically a fresh mind. And then the other one was like, I got you. And so they've been playing it together. And so I came out too. And it's gotten to a point now where we're pretty confident we're gonna 100% it.
Nice.
Nice.
This is happening for the past 2 months, but like kind of in December, it's really kicked off. We've beaten Hades 10 times.
Okay.
Rolled credits.
We've rolled credits. Yep. We've gotten maxed out all of the trinkets, if you remember the trinkets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think now all we have to do is just get super friends with all of the gods.
Wow.
We're doing the skulls. I think our hot record right now might be 18 skulls.
Holy shit.
I know. 500 hours will do that to you.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And I guess the max is 32, so we're shooting for 32.
Okay.
But it's really fun. That game's great.
That game's incredible.
That game's amazing, yeah.
Let me tell you about Hades.
Yeah.
No, one thing that we may have missed last year because we were all playing it, the replay potential is so incredibly good of like, you now have access to all of these different tools, so we're just messing around with like...
I sometimes just play like a round or two. Just like,
I saw some people playing it recently.
Like,
I was like, ooh.
Literally before this podcast, we were messing around with like doing the cast and trying to get different ways to get it to work. That game is just so good.
It is so good.
I just
wanted to give it a shout out.
The abilities and like was like, okay, what if I do this? It was like, oh, if I get this will work great. And like combo with it is when you get a broken run, ooh.
I know, it feels so good.
Incredible.
It's really fun. Oh, we're also trying to go for all the fish, which I'm really bad at fish.
Oh, that's hard, yeah.
I think there's 3 or 4 legendary fish left, and that's it. We've got the rest. Yeah. But it's funny because we're playing
it's too much.
I know we're playing it on my profile on the Xbox, and like there are 4 achievements that are like standard, like play the game, beat the game, talk to the people, and then everything else is like
all the side stuff.
You've gotten the legendary fish. 1% of people get this achievement. Like every achievement we get is just super rare.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because nobody goes for this ridiculous completion level.
That's so great.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And the only thing that I just wanted to say, I started playing Psychonauts 2 like 3 hours ago. It's very good, and I was telling Ted before the show you should check it out because I think it's right up your alley.
Do you need to play Psychonauts? I know it's
a
silly question, but
I heard it recaps and there's no need.
It recaps pretty well, and you're like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of puts you into kind of a new story and you're pretty fresh like character grounding, so it's really good.
Are you a new character?
No, you're the same guy.
No.
Same boy.
Yeah.
Okay. How's
10-year-old boy. Haven't seen Jack Black.
Yeah, you probably haven't seen Jack Black.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the writing is so sharp and it's so innovative, and like the first area you're in someone's mouth for a lot of it and like hopping on teeth and
I heard that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's really cool. Like that's like why I think just Ted, especially because we played a lot of Double Fine games and talked about him.
Yeah.
Be right up your alley.
I'm most looking forward to Brutal Legend 2, which will be coming out next year.
But I think I was thinking about this actually just very briefly. With Double Fine is like such an interesting position with Xbox where they don't have to like Psychonauts 2 doesn't have to be this like runaway success for them to make another game. Like Xbox is now like really supporting them in that front of like, you just make your game.
Yep.
And like I think that's so special to them now, and like I'm really happy for them. Really
me too. They have an edge to them.
Yes. No one else is like them.
That is unique to them and unique to video games. That's really, really cool. And it's exciting to hear that they have steady employment.
Yeah, I think that's just really cool because they've always been that company. Every year you hear like, they may not make it. Like
it's I did not play Broken Age because I don't like point and click adventure games, and it was this like, are they gonna make it past?
They almost didn't.
They almost didn't.
They almost freaking didn't.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
That one I think I might actually check out before our Game of the Year.
Yeah, and our Game of the Year will be next week, so we got that looking forward to.
I looked at Scarlet Nexus for a long time, and I was like, I can't.
This looks really cool. RPG.
I hope that people who like it love it.
Yeah.
I can't. I cannot.
Well, thank you so much for watching the 81st episode of the Sideescape Gaming Podcast. I'm Jake. That's Ted. That's James. And we will see you next week for our Game of the Year.